Northern Nigeria has three options to remove President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I repeat, Northern Nigeria has three options to remove President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the next election. Now we have a Peter Obi, we have a Jonathan, and we have an Atiku. I repeat, we have a Peter Obi, we have a Jonathan, and we have an Atiku. We know that Northern Nigeria is desperate to make sure that Tinubu does not return as president 2027. They are so desperate to stop Tinubu from winning the next election. That is why they are presenting three options amongst themselves. They have a Jonathan. They have to choose between Jonathan, Peter Obi, and Atiku. Note, APC and Tinubu is the party to beat come 2027. I repeat, APC and Tinubu is the party to beat come 2027. Politics of 2023 is different from politics of now. Now, what is applicable, what was applicable then is different from what is applicable now. The political structure has changed a lot. APC and Tinubu has the upper hand to win an election today. So it will take a combined effort of a coalition or the opposition combined though to present a candidate that can even beat a Tinubu. Yes, that can be talking about we can win an election. We have the PDP, we have the ADC, we have the Labour Party. If these people run individually, it will be very, 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 very difficult to beat the APC. They need a combined service, a combined power to come together and beat the APC. We know that the northern part of this country, they are desperate because Tinubu is dealing with them, making them irrelevant as the day goes by, dealing with these northern cabals and these Fulani, these politicians that have captured northern Nigeria. That is why every possible means that they need to use to remove Tinubu, they are in for it. We talked about southern presidency. That is why you see a Jonathan as an option. That's why you see a Peter Obi, however, as an option, and also an Atiku. Now, narrow it to the southerners. Between a Peter Obi and Jonathan, who do you think in an election can win President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Nigeria of today, like this political setting that we see ourselves? Who do you think can beat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Mind you, the obedience wave, the support Peter Obi had 2023 is dwindling. You cannot compare then and now. Now, Nigerians were saying that our votes don't count. Some people came out during that election, 2023, and assured the people, even INEC came out and assured the people that your vote will count. We are going to do electronic transfer and this and that. We have IRF, we have beavers. So people were eager because they believed, they were convinced that their votes will count. That's why you see people came out under rain and sun. They came out, stood, and most of them defended their votes. That's why you saw the participation in the last election. But now, since INEC has deceived everybody, since Mahmoud Yakubu announced that his result 4 a.m., the conduct of the elections, people were killed, people were disenfranchised. Now, the people, I don't think this next election, Nigerians are eager to come and vote. Instead, the poverty and hunger in the country, Nigerians are interested to come and sell their votes. I'm telling you the fact. Nigerians are interested to come and sell their votes. That is why the political tension then, the political environment then is different from the political environment now. The APC now understands the game and they are not willing for any free and fair election. They are not even willing to assure you. They are not willing to assure you that there is free and fair election. What they are willing to do is that, how can we convince the people that the APC is working, that they will vote the APC? They need like people giving the assertion like we are voting APC, we are voting, so that they can carry out whatever they can carry out. I've told you before that the APC is not interested in free and fair election. They're not even interested in electoral reforms. They're interested in media propaganda to use and sway people to support them. That is why I said that anything that is anybody or any coalition, whatever it is, that is going to remove a President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they must do it combined. and it must be a southern person. So now when you look at the papers today, this day newspaper says Nigerians now know the difference after Buhari Tinubu. They want Jonathan back. These are political statements from northern Nigeria. It made itself to the headline of this day. This is coming from a PDP chief in Ghana. Nigerians now know the difference after Buhari Tinubu want Jonathan back. Says that the ex-president will contest 2027 poll in PDP. Jonathan is contesting from the platform of the PDP. Niger PDP elects new officials. That is from the newspaper this morning. Not only this day, other papers also carried it. Now, when you look at it critically, look at the information critically, there's one thing you always understand. That if the last time we listened to the wife of Jonathan, she said that my husband is not interested, it's not coming out. It's not coming out. But now we are seeing people making claims that Jonathan is well ready to represent the PDP 2027. Recently, we saw Jonathan meeting with Atiku, meeting with Obi and other elements because of this election of a thing. So what you need to understand is that politicians are unpredictable. Now, Jonathan is becoming a politician, and it is good for him. I wish he was this strong politically when Buhari and El-Rufai and APC were doing their thing. Yes. But the concern here is that the best option for northern Nigeria, personally, I think is Jonathan. Reasons. P2B, the wave of P2B is dwindling and reducing. Yes. So southern Nigeria, the sabotage will be so much. Just look at the message P2B sent to Yolubadan. He said, my brother. Atiku said, my brother. Tinubu said, my brother. But who had a problem with what? Some elements had a problem with how P2B called Yolubadan, my brother. It is beyond that, my brother. There's a hatred. There's a propaganda against the P2B that is... Well, propaganda can be lies, half-truth, falsehood, projected as truth. So the propaganda against P2B amongst a certain people, which they are few, not that many, they are few, but they are making it look like this part of this country, we hate this young man. So the popularity, the Yoruba obedience, which were one of the greatest engine rooms of the P2B, I think they are dwindling. They are reducing. Most of them have decamped. Most of them have withdrawn their support. Most of them have become partisan. Most of them are standing on the fence, not supporting anybody. So if you look at it critically, the obedient movement, why it succeeded, it was mostly the effect of the Yoruba obedient in the obedient movement. So the Yoruba Ronu and other politicians from one side, they took it upon themselves to push a propaganda to make sure that they reduce the popularity of P2B in Lagos and Southwest with such tribalists, nepotistic, the normal thing now, Igbo, this and that, you're abusing this and that. They will instigate some of the followers of the obedient movement or Labour Party to make statements because normally Nigerians don't like themselves. So they will set you up. They know that you are supporting a P2B, even though P2B does not know you personally. You don't even send a message to they do what they do. But because of your support, they will set you up. And whatever you say, they will just attach it to P2B to make P2B look like a bad person. Yes, they will amplify a little thing. They will amplify it, and it looks so big in the eyes of Nigerians. And the Nigerians, they have shots. I don't know. Let me not abuse Nigerians this morning. So this APC and the Ronu and those that are being paid to push propaganda, they understand Nigerians totally, and they are smart about it. So the campaign against P2B seems to be working because a P2B had refused to organize himself to counter the propaganda. Now, Labour Party now is not a resting place for P2B. It's not home to P2B. Labour Party has come out to say that this presidency, you know, go see him. Don't join any coalition. You see, a Labour Party is saying, don't join a coalition. They are using Sometimes I don't understand though. A candidate that gave you House of Reps, Senate, Assembly members in numerous, gave you a governor, you are working against that candidate with so many flimsy reasons and excuses. However, we know that that is how politics is being played. So P2B aligning with an article and also an edify would affect his support in the middle belt. The middle belt will affect his support. So that support he had in 2023, I don't think he had that support in full now. It has reduced. And looking at Tinubu was not president. The APC under him was able to pull that stunt, snatch it, grab it, and run away with it. They were able to snatch it after grabbing it, and they ran away with it. He was not in power then. And what P2B had to say was, calm down, we are going to the courts. We are going to this and that. And we have not studied history, how people took power. You look at Rwanda today. Look at Rwanda today. That person that is president, he was in a resistance army. The revolution got him to where he is today. In life, if you want to change your fortune, it is a revolution, because nobody is willing to give you anything on a platter of gold. You must be able to take it. Politically, you must be able to take it. So the philosophy of P2B will not get him anywhere come 2027. You can see everywhere he's being pushed, shoved aside, left, right, center. Even his own party. So that is for a P2B. Like I said, the best option for the northern Nigeria that is looking so desperate, looking for options to remove a Tinubu 2027, the best option for them is a Jonathan. Jonathan, although politically, I don't know how he has changed, but we knew that the promise that APC promised us after removing Jonathan, it now looks like APC is the problem of the country. Yes, they are saying, Northern Nigeria is saying that, Jonathan, I beg, forgive us for how we treated you and this and that. We never knew we were deceived by the APC to say all sort of things. They were against subsidy, but now them can't still remove subsidy. They were against a lot of reforms that were supposed to come up then, but now them can't even become the worst. So Jonathan for them is a perfect. Jonathan, the constitution will limit Jonathan to do only 4 years. Yes. And the North, they are okay with that. See, when Nigeria is saying that, when some politicians are saying that we are not supporting, there's no zoning, and is a competent candidate that should run for election. Now lie. Northern Nigeria is in support of zoning. That is why they will choose a Jonathan against the P2B. They will not trust P2B that is saying, I vow, I swear, I will do only one term. They don't trust him because they are interested in zoning. They know that it will be the turn of North after the 8 years of South. So don't let anybody deceive you. This political street, don't let anybody deceive you. So Jonathan is a perfect match. And Jonathan coming to run as president is going to bring shame on the APC, because the APC in so many ways said Jonathan did a lot of things, accused him, blah, blah, blah. But when APC took over from Jonathan, reverse was the case. Now, Tinubu may be doing some 1 or 2 reforms, but how long can Tinubu defend the fact that he brought in Buhari? Tinubu defend the fact that they protested against subsidy removal that is moving now. Now, what would Tinubu say? Now, like I said, hated people in Nigeria. Let me mention just 2 or 3. Number 1 is Wike. Number 2 is Tinubu. Number 3 is Erufai. I'm mentioning my own. Most people don't like Tinubu. Even amongst the Yorubas, they don't like Tinubu. Tinubu is just there by providence. Like, he's a Yoruba man, let's support him, he's our own. We have the Yoruba Ronu, we have the APC. They are 2 different distinct people. The Yoruba Ronu would defend the Yoruba cause, whatever it is. Some of them are political. Some of them, they use Yoruba Ronu and APC. They are joining Ronu together. They are being partisan. They are not really there for the cause. They are there for what they are gaining politically. So, the Yoruba Ronu is different from the APC. APC supporters might be following Tinubu But Yoruba Ronu, most of them don't send Tinubu, and the larger Yoruba people don't send Tinubu. Tinubu having the support of Yoruba people, politicians, is because politics, no permanent friend, no permanent enemy, but permanent interest. That is why you see support from the Southwest. They have seen that Tinubu is amassing a lot of control in Nigeria. Is gaining a lot of ground in Nigeria. Is becoming indefatigable. Yes, it's becoming a cabal. That is why you see most Yoruba politicians are coming to line up. They are supporting the Tinubu left, right, center. Yes. So as it stands, the best bet is Jonathan. Why not Atiku? I've said it before. I don't know how to explain it. Atiku coming to contest against the Tinubu. What is the option? Come to southern Nigeria and ask a southerner, between Atiku and Tinubu, who are you going to vote? From the southeast, ask a southeaster. Let's start with southeast. Some people say southeast don't get voter strength, blah blah blah. It's a lie. Southeast has voter strength, but because their vote is scattered all over Nigeria, so they are not bringing it together in one place to form a quorum. That is why you think southeast brought this social amount of votes. If you look at the voter registration going on in Osun and Lagos, look at some of the names. Most of them are non-indigens, are not Yorubas. So let's understand that first. Let's go to the southeast. Ask an average southeasterner, between a Tinubu and an Atiku, who will you vote? 90% of them will say we are voting a Tinubu. Go to south. An average southerner, between a Tinubu and Atiku, who will you vote? 80% of them will say we are voting a Tinubu over Atiku. Today, 80%. Go to the southwest, of course, 90% will say we are voting, 95%, not even 90. 95% will say we are voting a Tinubu above Atiku in southern Nigeria. Go to the north central and northwest. Tinubu holds a lot of advantage over an Atiku. Now look at El-Rufai. El-Rufai in that coalition is a very, very big minus. You see, perception is very, very important when it comes to life. What perception have you created for yourself? You see, perception opens a door. It depends on what you do with that door. But the perception that helps you open the door is very important. So the perception people have about an El-Rufai joining the coalition or joining Atiku is a very, very great and big minus. What is the political value that El-Rufai will bring to the coalition? These are questions that we need to ask. Look at El-Rufai now. What political value? Can El-Rufai win his polling unit? Can El-Rufai win his constituency? Can El-Rufai win his state? His state, can El-Rufai win his state? Now they see him as somebody that is a jihadist, Islamic, like is a bad person. Let me not even use the words. And we hear that when he was enlisted for ministerial position, DSS screamed him on issues of terrorism and insecurity. They screamed him out. So an El-Rufai joining an Atiku in northern Nigeria is going to go a long way to become a disadvantage to Atiku. Yes, even Atiku himself, if he win in polling unit, he can. But can he win his state with the influence PDP has in Adamawa state? The Waziri title, in own boy Fintiri, they supervise them removing the Waziri title of his boss, of his Oga. Say no be juju be that. So Jonathan, for me, somebody will be asking a question. So you think P2B will not do this? I've told you. You see, politics, you make it emotions. Me, I don't make it emotions. I'm supporting the P2B any day, anytime. But I will tell you what is applicable at the moment. I am supporting what is applicable at the moment. The popularity of P2B is dwindling. And they are not taking measures. They are becoming reactionary. They are not taking time to build themselves. I don't know what they are planning. Keeping silence, and there's no policy direction. We are not going on a like this is where we are going. Let's plan on when we are going. This is 2025. Next year is 2026. After next year, you don't have any time to plan. Don't think that you have 9 months. Use 9 months to plan. You joined Labour Party and you did all sort of things. Don't think that the support you had then, you have it now. Because Tinubu was not president. He snatched it, grabbed it around. Now he's commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He appoints Yorubas almost his followers, his loyalists. He appoints them in almost every parastatal of government. Police Yoruba, judiciary Wike and Kekereekun, GSS Yoruba. You saw what the Inspector General of Police said. He will forever be grateful to Tinubu that Tinubu made him what he was or he is today. That kind of statement from a police chief making that statement. Do you think that when it comes to elections, the police chief will sit down with the way Nigeria is structured? Like I told you, Nigeria is not, we are not one. So a police chief who is Yoruba and there's a Yoruba president, then you will not sit down and somebody, Omoibu, will come and win election. That is the mentality Nigeria have. The reality is, unfortunate we are having such mentality, but that is the truth. I'm telling you. You know, when you come, there's a university, there was an election they had. Somebody is vying for the post of chief judge. I will not mention the university. One of there's among this, somebody had an influence. Let me just be vague. Somebody had an influence to vote for a particular person. The person went to meet that person. Say, I want you to support me. I want to become chief judge. The person that told me, my brother is there. My brother is there. So why is he not going to support that person? Even though that person is very, very much qualified. When you call qualified, he's very qualified. He's popular. But somebody who has an opportunity, who has an influence to support him, is telling you that he prefers his own brother. So people consider their own brother in matters of legality or whatever it is. Most people do so before any other thing. So a police chief that was appointed by a president, that whatever he is today, he said so, that he gives the kudos to Tinubu within an election. They will be sitting down to look at the body language of the president. I'm telling you. They'll be sitting down. They'll be thinking on how they can work in favor of the president. That is how bad it is. So the guy is president now, chief of army staff, everywhere. The guy put his people there. And you want to be using all this kind way. So Jonathan is the only person that if he goes there, he will get the whole support of northern Nigeria. And let's see how it goes, how the PDP play their partisan politics. But it will be better if Jonathan is being presented as the coalition or the coalition of opposition parties candidate. Everybody will now put in their resources. Everybody will come together collectively and push Jonathan, like push him. Atiku, everybody, they line up if they really want. But if they want to go on their way of personal and selfish interest, they should continue. They should continue.